Hey Universe, it's 4:20 a.m. on the 17th of February, and I'm still up, and I gotta be getting to sleep soon here, because I gotta be at work now in 9 hours and 10 minutes, 9 hours and 9 minutes now, 4:21, and obviously I'm a little tired. We're going to throw a little Ghost OZ into the equation. That should officially knock these bowling pins over for a spare. At least in some scale of depth and width, keep me from wow. Oh boy. Wow. Really sorry, especially this early in the morning. Should not be coughing. Hang on. Okay. Ghost OZ. No idea. Just know it's not indica, or no, it's not sativa. It's a hybrid with indica tendency, which I'm hoping means will knock me out. Because I'm a little, I don't know. I'm definitely unsteady about the last two recordings, and I knew both of them had to happen. I think I handled the Western Connecticut, Western Central, whatever. I think I handled the Constitution State dilemma about as well as I could. I left a few really crucial details out of there. Forgot to mention a few people who I think are critical in having brought me to the realization that unfortunately I have been brought to, including James Tracy. I certainly did not mean to leave you out of the equation. I cannot believe what you've been through. But while I'm sure it matters little, you are admirable to me. And Mr. Halbig, ditto times 10. Marty Leeds, SGT report, the forums that have enabled the discussions to persist. You are true heroes, just in the scope of which you can offer those who have called out the liars the most a platform on which to stand. I admire you. And Sophia Smallstorm. There are many others. And all of you out there doing the counterintelligence, the flurry of comments in the YouTube videos that make it through the filter, or back in the day when they used to actually be visible. Well, why are you doing it? Really? I mean, is it money? Are you part of the game? Are you Lenny Posner? I mean, I just don't understand why you want to come at somebody like Wolfgang Halbig. The man has shown nothing but integrity, values, and the American commitment to liberty and the pursuit of truth, and you ruin his life. And fortunately my life is in ruins, so come at me, bitches. Like I've said, I won't suicide myself, so if I'm found dead, you better do a damn good job of dumping me in the laundry machine in some sort of chaotic slip and fall incident that was clearly my own fault, because there's nothing you can take from me. I went all the way to base zero so that I could speak truth. Because you can't steal anything from me. You're gonna steal my reputation? It's already stolen, dumb shits. You're gonna take away my financial wherewithal? What, you want the 89 cents sitting on my dresser? I'll give it to you. You're gonna steal the chance I have for esteem and respect in this society by calling me something like a conspiracy theorist or a tinfoil hat wearing dumb fuck. Go for it. I'll tell you what. If you would like, from now on, every time I want to talk about conspiracies, I will say, as a tinfoil hat wearing dumb fuck who will put on a business card that I'm a conspiracy theorist, here is how I would like to proceed. That way, you don't have to go into any sort of commentary forum or anything and start telling me that that's what I am. I'll just call myself that, right? Can I call myself the double-stuffed version of that? Just because I do like my cookies. You know what I'm saying? Even website cookies. I enable them now. I figure you want to watch me? Go for it. The fuck you doing watching me look around on stupid video sites? Have fun. The point is, this project is, at its fundamental level, a confession to baseline my ultimate truth of who I am. Warts, bruises, stumps, bumbles, all of it. I won one spelling bee and I lost 3 others. What do I want to say to that? Well, I can call myself a spelling bee champion, or I can call myself a 75% failure. Everything we do is ours to determine the win-loss ratio against who we are as we manifested in life. I now am ready to do nothing but win when it comes to those particular issues. Because for the longest time, the only losing I was really experiencing were the losses I was forcing myself to experience. And I think plenty of you out there are just like that. Just like me. You're holding your worst moments against yourself. You're afraid to admit the things that you were the weakest in experiencing, because somehow you think they're shameful for you having not been able to do better. Well, I'm going to keep telling you the worst of the worst of me. At some point, you're going to see that none of it matters. Because I trust you to forgive me, to know that at my heart, at my most fundamental level, I'm kind. I may not have always been able to be kind, but I've been as influenced by those around me and the thoughts that I was taught to think inside my own head that were wrong as anything else. Now, I'm not removing myself from the accountability of the actions that I took in this universe. They're all mine. And neither should you. I just don't want you to be entrapped by them. Because I was. And I want to speak to those of you out there who may have to lock up the most vile activity. I hate that you're in a position you're in. That you fumbled at the goal line so significantly that you gave your humanity away. And you know it. You know you did. Well, every cue you followed was wrong. But the cues were there to be followed, right? If you hadn't followed them, somebody else would have, most likely. In fact, in almost every situation, for sure. So, especially those of you who were pushing other pieces around to enable your ascension. Obviously, in that cutthroat environment, somebody was going to ascend into the positions you're in, and therefore the actions you took were somebody else's to take if you hadn't taken them. Okay? So, that doesn't remove you of whatever horror you've enabled. But I do understand you. And I really do forgive you. And I promise, if you can do both of those things for yourself and thereby embrace your own humanity and show that kindness isn't a concept, it's a community, well then, of course I embrace you and welcome you back. I've said many times I don't believe we are here for vindictive retribution, punishment, and prison. Because even the worst among us have been enabled into a position to behave as they do. Some people's follies are much greater than just sitting next to the laundry machine while recording something that an audience is intended to receive. Well, this is certainly rude and dismissive of those who might be in said audience. If I were to walk past the laundry machine, well, that would be even more ruckus. So those 4 seconds of heightened ruckus I'm avoiding, hopefully in enough distance from the laundry machine with the microphone in a position that it's not capturing every bit of noise that's now coming from the oh so ridiculously loud spin rinse cycle that should end in about 4 minutes. My capacity to describe boring things sometimes is overwhelmingly bottomless. But this is what a good indica / hybrid tending indica will do to you. It'll turn you stupid. So, having already spoken stupidly now for 33 minutes, for 13 minutes plus, I'm glad I spoke both those truths. I hate having to doubt my reality, and I hate having to live in a reality that I doubt so badly why I acted a certain way. They're flip-flops of the same shit, you know. I don't want to live somewhere where I behaved in a way that when I think of the memory it makes me flinch, and I've got 3 of those. You know one of them. And someday you'll know the other 2, but for now I'm not ready to unload all my worst on you. Figure I can save a little of that. But yeah, there's 2 more of them too. And one of them is, it literally makes me flinch. So, the incident in college more makes me, I don't know, it makes me want to run sprints. It makes me want to go find some barbed wire and throw myself into it. And if you just keep waking up thinking that's who you are, somebody who needs to be thrown into some barbed wire to suffer a bit for the suffering you've caused, well, okay. I mean, shit, yeah. At least that shows you've got some spirit of redemption. But what can you do about it? How can you recover it? You can't undo the event. You've already done it. You can't undo the reaction. It's already been reacted to. You can't undo the gap. There's already been the time. What you can do is you can evolve into a person of divinity, because we are here to experience how to be better. I know how to be better from that event. I clear as day know how to be better from that event. And since that day, I have been nothing but markedly better from that event. Have I been perfect? No. Have I been in other situations where I've probably used questionable tactics to get my way with some physical love from a woman? Sure. But not questionable in the sense that I did anything more than maybe grandiose myself a little bit in a situation where grandiosity was no harm, no foul. I've never ever transgressed against somebody's true innocence or personhood. And I did both those that night. So I'm not saying I learned my lesson, because the rest of my life is a constant reflection against that lesson. But when I say sometimes I need to be reminded that there are people out there who need way more than me, yeah, sometimes I do need to be reminded that. But I'll tell you, I never need to be reminded of my capacity to both act in a self-indulgent, completely dismissive of those around me manner that is devastating. I learned that lesson that day, and I have relearned it since. But I think that's a lesson I probably have finally learned. You just can't hurt people.